Right, Rick, for those that don't know, can you introduce yourself and where have you been before 𝗙𝗻𝗋?
Well, believe it or not, I've been here since the summer, but you ain't announced me yet. So yeah, I'm 𝗀cie𝗹𝗹𝗶, fitness coach, worked with Brett for the last 10 years. So previously Malden, Brighton-on-Sea, White Ensign before that.
What goes into keeping players fit, stretch before a game, anything like that?
Obviously, the hard work, the hard yards have to be done out there on the training pitch, pre-season especially. Monday nights training has taken a little bit of adjustment, but the boys, they have to take some credit because they buy into it and they work hard. So keeping them fit is a matter of obviously running them, then buying into it, and then working with Madders to make sure that boys are not overdoing it, and so on and so forth. The good thing we've got here as well is the commitment of the lads that maybe haven't played for a week or two. They're asking me to do a bit at the end of a session on a Monday or a Thursday, rather than me having to drag them out there. So yeah, all in all, it's working quite well.
You have just mentioned Madders, but how close do you work with the physio staff that we've got here?
Yeah, like I say, it's especially when the boys have had a knock and they're on their way back, I always make sure that sometimes you know what players are like, they'll want to jump ahead and do more than they should. So I always run it by him first before anyone gets put through their paces, and make sure that we're not doing anything he doesn't want them to do.
How do you build relationships with players on the pitch?
I think it's a little bit easier as a coach rather than a manager / assistant manager, because I think the players' guard's down a little bit. You're not the main man, so to speak. So it's quite easy to sort of integrate with them and have a chat and on a more personal level, and sort of be part of it that way. I think trust's a big part as well. I think I say it as I see it, and I think the boys know that, so they don't get no nonsense, shall we say.
What's your one non-negotiable? Trust
would be the one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
What's been your most memorable aspect as a coach so far?
In general or 𝗙𝗻𝗋?
In general.
I think it would have to be at the moment, when we kept Brighton-on-Sea in this league, when we first got the job there. They was written off. First time we'd worked at this level.
Yeah.
So to keep them up that year was special. But hopefully you ask me that question again at the end of the year and I'll have a different answer.
Might not get posted, but...
Maybe not.
How do you maintain your standards when there's not a lot of face-to-face time and there's not a lot of facilities to use?
I think standards have to be driven by us as coaching staff and management. Even down to silly things like, you'll notice very, very rarely, if at all, any of us late. And if anything, we're very early. We're always set up, we're always prepared. Our sessions are prepared. The boys know, like, we do the analysis like we're going to do tonight. We get out and watch games. So I think the boys know we work hard and we do things properly, so they sort of follow suit. And I think that's the only way. You have to lead by example.
As you said, you have worked with Brett before, but your personal coaching philosophy, how close does that link to what Brett does?
I think having worked with him for so long, you know, or I know what he expects from his teams, and a big part of that, they need to be fit to be able to deliver. And I've always been a little bit old school, shall we say.
Yeah.
So the boys know that when they're with me, they're going to work hard, but I try to keep it varied for them and make sure that they're enjoying what they do as much as they can when they're working that hard. But we know they need to be fit. Otherwise, they're not going to fit into what the gaffer wants. So, yeah, I think we align quite well.
And finally, one word to describe your time so far at 𝗙𝗻𝗋.
Relentless.